Let's go.
A video. Yeah, so I did a video of my house. I think it went pretty well. I was also very glad that I did this because I remember Ms. Kiff cooking up that fucking disgusting butterball steak. The most disgusting fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The nastiest steak I've ever seen.
Look at Mizkit being surrounded by, like, all the pretty girls. Like, look at that. Like, not quite sure what it says, but it says something. Do you know what I mean?
The worst steak. And then finally, Emma was like, oh, it's garbage. It sucks. And so I'm like, okay, let's find out for real. No, it was fine. My steaks are fucking fine. Yeah, I mean, the video, like, obviously there's a lot of people always who are gonna have opinions about stuff, but I do think that it was fun to do. Yeah, I tried to get Emeru to cut stuff up with the sword, but it didn't really work. I actually stabbed a hole in this fucking soccer ball. I was kind of surprised I was able to do that. So, want to make me a video? Nice swing? Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and that's a mattress. Izzy made me get rid of this mattress, and so it's just out in the backyard now. Explain the stains on the wall? Oh, that? I mean, it is what it is. I've already explained that. Yeah, that's where I sleep right there. That's my bed. And as you can see there, it's very nice. It's got a mattress topper. I've slept in that bed for 20 years. Comfy, yep, you're right. And then this is my streaming room, and that's what I do whenever I finish my streams. How did the bathroom look before you cleaned it? Man. Yeah,
why did he take a picture?
It looks so comfy. It is. Like, I have all these pillows and everything. Like, I'll play this little part of it at least. You guys can watch the whole video if you want.
Roll yourself up in the nest.
Yeah, I was literally just doing it.
Oh,
so I have this. This blanket, by the way, is Mitch Jones' blanket. That's actually his ex-girlfriend's pillow, too. So yeah, I get right in here, and then sometimes I can get some more of these. It's a blanket like, Twitch sent me. Cold. That's a blanket I think my mom got me. That's a blanket Izzy bought. I used to have a cardboard box, but then I got rid of it.
So cute that he keeps all his, like, sentimental blankets.
How can you have a bad day?
I never have bad days.
I'm tired of that.
I never have bad days.
It's very cozy. You know, it looks bad or whatever. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. It's good.
I'm jealous, bro. I think we're the ones doing it wrong.
No, that's actually true. One thing that I've realized something that I've always known to be true.
When were the blankets washed last? I mean, technically, if it's only him sleeping in there, and he doesn't have a girlfriend, he doesn't leave the house, he doesn't really touch other people, he doesn't shower that often, doesn't really matter if the blankets are the same as him. You know? Right? Right? Well, one would hope he would aim away from the blanket for that.
Is that I'm the only person who's not crazy. See, everybody else is insane. They're out of their mind. They've got this total, like, weird view of the world, and they're like, those walls say otherwise. Yeah, but I'm not sleeping on the wall, am I?
No.
When am I gonna sleep? What do you think? I'm Spider-Man? You think I'm gonna sleep on the wall? You think I'm Nightcrawler? I'm not sleeping on the wall. It's over there. I'm over here. And how many rats do you pick out of traps a week? It's been 2 this month. Actually, maybe 2 months. Sleeping on the walls? Should she on the walls? Yeah. You said you use cardboard to sleep? No, I just used it. I used it kind of like I used a cardboard box. So like I got a monitor from like a sponsorship or something, and so they sent it to me in a box, obviously. And so I take it out of the box and I put the box on my bed, and then I realized like I was using this cardboard box kind of as like a weighted blanket. And so, yeah, I was doing that. I think it worked actually quite well. The reason why I don't change a lot of things in my life or any of this stuff is because I don't really think that I need to. Like, the truth is that there are things in my life that I am not happy about. And there are things in my life that make my life worse that I do not enjoy, and I wish they didn't exist. But the truth is that I felt like I was born rich. I was healthy. I still am, relatively healthy. When I was a kid, I had like my mom and my dad cared about me. I was surrounded by my friends. I was able to do what I wanted. Things weren't we weren't super rich in terms of money, but I was so happy. And the world was so good.
Aww.
And I've tried my best in my life to live a life that is non-physical. I don't spend a lot of my time in the physical world. I am on the computer, I'm in my mind. I like being in the dark and just thinking. So whenever people tell me that things like this are a problem, they're not telling me that things like this are a problem. They're telling me that things like this are a problem for them. And I understand that. Now, that's fine. I'm telling you, you're in denial. I'm debating on whether I should say this or not, because it's definitely an insane person thing to say. I always remind myself that if I wanted to, I could go downstairs and cut my own throat with a knife. And I don't, because I don't want to. I am the master of my own life and death. I control my own destiny. And I do it every day and every moment, all of the time. If I want to, I can clean up this house. And if I don't want to, I don't have to. I can do whatever I want. Not the take I expected. There it is. Can you do a flip though? I used to be able to. I don't think I could
Don't really
anymore.
know what to say
And
to that.
Yeah, I understand that. I might seem like a crazy person to a lot of people, but I personally think that I'm the only person who is not crazy in a world that has collectively lost their mind, and more importantly, a world that has collectively lost its soul. I care about things that I care about. I care about doing things that I enjoy, and that's the only thing that really matters to me. Speaking of suicidal thoughts, it's not a suicidal thought. It's just it's a morbid manifestation of the level of control that you have over your own life. In a sick society, the sick person is the only healthy one. That's right. That's right. You're too proud of your bad habits. A lot of kids think the same way, and most people grow out of it, though. Living in filth doesn't make you free. It makes you filthy. It doesn't give you control. The laziness controls you. Well, like, for example, so, like, I actually cleaned up, like, a lot of people even commented on this, that, like, this room here, this room is a lot cleaner than my other rooms. And do you know why? It's because I cleaned it. Yeah, I cleaned it. Yeah, that's why. It was annoying to me, because there's, like, a bunch of stuff.
I'm just going to interrupt him here, because I think he's, like, changed, like, course on what he's saying now. But I kind of get what he's saying, like that was such a dramatic thing to say. Like, it took me like a minute before I could even like register what was even happening. But it kind of makes sense. Like, it's not him saying that he has suicidal thoughts or that he wants to. It's him saying that he could walk in front of a bus and he chooses not to. So it's not that he can't take care of his house, it's that he doesn't care about that to do it. And I suppose, like, the difference is, if he lived with people, or if he had children, like, I think he doesn't want children, if I remember correctly. If he had children, or if he had people who came into the house, or he lived with other people or whatever, then obviously living like that would be unacceptable, because it would be unacceptable to put somebody else through that just because that's your mentality, when it is dangerous to live like that. Like, it's unsanitary. to live like that. But if the only life that it negatively or positively or in any kind of way impacts is his, then why can't he live like that? We only keep a clean house because we're told to keep a clean house. Like, the fact that we all sit here and we judge him for having a bad house is because we're told that we should keep a clean house. Do you know what I mean? So if the only person that it negatively impacts is him, people are happy to put alcohol into their bodies, which is a poison, and drink themselves to a slow death, damaging their liver, damaging their relationships, making their bodies incoherent, messing with their minds, having to deal with the come down of the alcohol when you have a hangover, which causes more negative impact. People smoke, and it's acceptable to smoke, and that's putting a toxin in your body that is slowly killing you if you continue to do it constantly. People take drugs, people eat bad food. Like, technically, his lifestyle is better than somebody's lifestyle of putting bad food into their body, because he kind of doesn't. Now, I'm not saying I could live like that. I don't want to live like that. I like living like this, but I know people judge me for how messy we live, even though ours is nowhere near. Obviously, ours is like normal kind of messy, whereas his is obviously like crazy messy. But allowing your body to intake all this bad food, which will cause your body to like have diabetes or heart disease or high cholesterol or whatever it is that's going to cause it, because obviously and arthritis, we all know that like there's 100 different problems with putting bad food into your body, but that's deemed acceptable. But him living in mess is not. When a lot of people who put alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, food, like negative food into their bodies are usually responsible for other people's lives. Like mothers and fathers are doing it, and they are responsible for the lives of their children, of they need to maintain a job to be able to support the house. The only person he's responsible for is himself. He doesn't have a single other person in the whole world that he's responsible for, especially now that his mother's passed. So technically, only black mold can kill you. Which is why when Tectone was like, oh, that's black mold, he was like, black mold? And he looked at it and was like, no, that's something else. But it's like, even if even let's say that he trips down the stairs because it's messy and he breaks his neck and he dies, like touch wood that he doesn't, but let's say that happens, the only person that negatively impacts is him. Like, there's no children, there's no brothers, sisters, mums, dads in the house that are going to suffer for it. So realistically, like when you look at it really objectively, so again, this is not me saying that I would live like this. This is not me kind of condoning it, but in a way I kind of am, because why can't he choose to live in squalor or in clutter or in hoarding or in mess, but other people could choose to live their lives in their ways that are killing them, which is drinking, drugs, cigarettes, like unprotected sex. You can get an STD, you could die. Like eating unhealthy, you could die. Like, do you know what I mean? Like all of these, like, kind of vices that we have, they all lead to death if you allow them, or if an accident from them happens. So it's kind of like, well, why can't he have his? Like, if anything, his is better than others, again, because he doesn't have anybody relying on him. But yet you have mothers and fathers who drink, mothers and fathers who eat unhealthy and gain weight and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, obviously, as I always say, this is my opinion. But for me, I don't see the problem other than it being ick. Like, I wouldn't want to be in there. I'd be like, oh, no. Like, I don't want to be in there. But if he's content doing it and it only impacts him, then it doesn't really matter. The only reason that it even matters is because we know about it, because it's on the internet. Like, it's a very different mindset, but I wouldn't call it crazy. I would just think maybe it's extreme. It's a little bit like a hippie mindset. Do you know what I mean? Where they're like outside and like a lot more with the earth kind of thing. Like, and they kind of like have more, I don't know, like freer sex and like they put more toxins in their body. Now, the hippie lifestyle is one that I absolutely would not partake in whatsoever. Not even slightly interested. Kind of makes my face do this because I'm kind of like... But they could do them and I could do me. It's kind of like that. Like, animals live in squalor and they're fine. Like, once upon a time, cavemen did not go round fluffing their cushions. So, I don't know. I kind of see his logic behind it. And especially when he said the ending life part. And it's like, kind of has a point. Like, he's not suicidal. He's not, like, he is in control. He's not living in squalor because he can't cope with his life. He's in control of what he's doing. Those are just things that he doesn't care about. And I think it's actually quite sweet that he feels like he was born rich, and yet the things that he named none of them were riches. They were all just nice family, nice friends, good life, and he's grown up not materialistic at all. Now, I don't think there's a single person that comes into this stream, including myself, that is not materialistic. We buy all the things as well. We buy the new gadgets, the new games, blah, 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 blah. We buy new clothes, new hair, like everything. And yet, even though he has millions, he's so unmaterialistic that even his surroundings are kind of irrelevant to him. I think there's something really special in that, like very unique. And kind of sweet. But yeah, like, I don't know, I just think there's something quite endearing and innocent and kind of beautiful, if we're going to be really cheesy, about the fact that even though he has millions of pounds, he doesn't care about any materialistic stuff. He's just him. He's just by himself, and he's just okay with it. Like I said, I wouldn't live like that. That's not me. But I don't know. I can think of worse things for a person to do. And it's like, it only affects him, so...
Everywhere. And so I cleaned it. Now, this is a while ago, so, like, there's still, like, random stuff around. Cords, stuff like that, right? But, like, this room's pretty clean. Like, I could clean this room entirely in probably, like, 2 hours. You don't realize it right now because you don't know what it feels like but you'll feel a lot better in a clean environment, even if you aren't the one cleaning it. So whenever you say you will feel a lot better in a clean environment, what you are saying is that you will feel a lot better. Has it ever occurred to you that other people don't feel the same way that you do? There's no way you wouldn't feel better in a cleaner room?
I don't know what he's going to say, so I'm going to interrupt him just so it doesn't look like I'm like Asmon influence or anything, because you know me. Like, you get your Asmon sheep. I actually don't feel better in a clean room. 100%. Like, there's that moment where it's like, oh, and you look around and it's like, nice. But actually, my day-to-day life, I don't feel better in a clean room. I like kind of... I'll tell you why. It's not because I like clutter in the sense of, ooh, I like it when it looks like crap over there. It's because then I don't have to be so aware. So, for example, I got that Shein order that Tia ordered today. And when I opened the box, if my lounge was immaculate, I would feel the need to leave stream to make sure the box went in the recycling, make sure the clothes went in the basket or hanging up or whatever. There probably wouldn't be a basket because, let's face it, clean house. And the Shein packaging would have gone straight in the bin. You found me! Thank you so much for the follow. Instead, I put the box... I don't even know where the box is. Oh, no, sorry, it's a bag that it came in. The bag is thrown on the couch. These are still here on the floor, and the dresses are here. And I'll just kind of throw them like that. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, but because my house is messy and cluttered, I don't have to be so, oh, I need to put that away. I could just kind of relax. And then I tidy when I tidy. And I clean when I clean. We keep the house clean. And then, but it's messy. But obviously, like what Loki's saying, obviously there are such concerns as mold, rats, etc., which bring in diseases, 100%, which I completely agree with. And I would never live in such extreme like that, of course. But the reason that I 100% wouldn't is because I have children. Whereas if I lived all by myself, for example, when I was 17 and it was just me and my ex, we were okay with it. And it doesn't bother us. It didn't bother us because like we would get ants. Can't say we ever got rats. I've had rats in my back garden here. Can't say I ever got rats. Obviously not possums. We had a problem with wasps in another house I've lived in. So obviously, I'm not comparing mine to his because his is disgusting. Obviously it is. So I'm not saying it's not. But if he's the only person that is dealing with it, then I don't really see the problem. And when people say that you would, like a bit like what he said, you would be happy with a clean environment, not necessarily, because I wouldn't, and I'm a normal person. Obviously they're trying to say that he's like crazy and he's not normal and that's not a normal way to think, blah, 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 blah. But I'm a normie and I'm not happy. I'm more happy in a cluttered place. There is a limit. If I get to the point where I start tripping over stuff, I get angry. Okay? If I trip, I get angry. There's a reason you said you'd fix it. See, I think he's fixable. Not fixable like that. I think if he moved in with somebody else, he would just blend with whatever their lifestyle is. So, at the moment, he lives by himself. Obviously, I don't know the dude. Don't know the dude. I'm probably never going to know the dude. I would love to know the dude, but I'm not going to. So, this is all assumption. And he might say something different when I press play now. But I think that if he moved in with me, he would adapt this lifestyle. If he moved in with a clean freak, he would adapt that lifestyle. Because he doesn't care so much about what's going on around him that he will just be. And I think because he will just be, where he's by himself, there's no one to pick up after him. So he's just being, which means any usage he's used is just kind of there. Whereas if he lived with somebody who cleaned all the time, he's still just going to be, and then the cleaner person is going to tidy everything up. I don't think you could get him to clean. Although, if he loves somebody, maybe he would, because maybe he'd want to make sure that their lifestyle was what they wanted as well. But he'd probably still be like a messy person, just not that kind of messy. But, I don't know. Yeah, like, I don't see the problem with it. And I don't think that people are right in saying that him living in a clean environment would make him feel better. Maybe it would, because maybe he's never known. But to assume it, I think is incorrect.
To be honest, like, so I'll kind of explain it in like kind of a general sense. It's not that I wouldn't feel better, it's that I don't care about it enough to change it. Does that make sense? Like, so like I don't really care about it that much. Like, obviously, like, yeah, maybe to be better, but like I don't really want.
It's literally what, like, words for what I just sort of said. Doesn't matter which environment he's in, he'll just be. Hi Lee, how are you doing?
Time dealing with it, or dealing with maids to deal with it. It's just not a priority for me. Because I'm not thinking about it. That's what I was saying, is I try not to really exist in the physical world in like a mental way. It sounds weird, but like that's just kind of how I think. It's what goes on in my head. And so whenever I walk through my house, I'm not walking through my house. I'm thinking about something that's totally different. Have you ever?
It's almost like he lives in his own created VR. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was had my headset on right now, my VR headset, and I'm in this beautiful luxury room, and I go do whatever. But real me is eating and drinking and blah, 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 which means therefore I'm creating mess. But I'm actually in my VR world. I swear, like, literally, listening to him say that makes it sound like he's created his own little VR environment, which would explain why he doesn't care or see what's going on around him. Like, do you know what I mean? You give it until like another 100 or so years, everyone's going to be living like this because everyone's going to have VR sets on. We're just going to all be seeing each other in VR. Everyone's going to be like ugly and greasy and gross. house is a mess, because it doesn't matter, because your virtual house is going to be immaculate because you made it on House Flipper, and then your avatar is going to be beautiful, and you're going to have long luscious hair and, like, you know, probably big jiggling boobs and all that kind of thing. And then our real bodies, it won't matter no more, because people, I find it bizarre that people find that more appalling than allowing your body to become appalling. Like, but mark my words, we're going to live in a Wall-E world. Who's seen the movie Wall-E? Wall-E, you know? We're going to live in a Wall-E world. It's going to happen. Then he won't seem so crazy no more, because he was the first.
Ever cleaned your room fully? Yeah, I have. I've had to clean my room fully a number of times, especially whenever I was younger. My mom would make me do it because, like, it would just get so bad, she would just lose her fucking mind. And so, yeah, I've had to do it multiple times. A lot of armchair psychologists in chat. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people that think that I can improve my life. And so, like, right now, there are, like, a few things that I probably should do that would improve my life. This isn't really about cleaning the house, right? Like, actually, I'll give you an example of cleaning the house. I really don't like being hot. I don't like feeling overheated. I like being in the cold. And I like being in the dark.
No! No! Asmon and I can never be together. I need it hot. He wants it cold. I need it bright. I have, like, all the lights on. And he wants the dark. Guys, that's it. My whole world is just shattered around me. That's it. It's over. Asmon and I will never be. Devo. I'm just glad we could talk to each other simply about our opinions and we kind of agree. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Loki. I love you. I look after you, Tash. Fuck Asmon. Well, I could do that first. Yeah. I'll bang in first. Then you can look after me. How's that sound? Because we don't need to worry about the heat and not, like, when we're doing that, do we? I don't mind being cold then because he can warm me up. And I don't mind it being dark then because, you know, then you don't have to see all your, like, wobbly bits and stuff. So that's fine. That's fine. And then we'll run away together. You can absolutely have sloppy seconds. Not a problem. Oh, dear.
So, I spent $20,000 getting a new AC unit and rewiring and reventing the entire insulation and ventilation of my house during the summer.
Oh.
Because that was unpleasant for me, and it was a problem that I had that I solved. The only thing separating you from being a NEET is your stream, technically speaking. Most people, the only thing separating them from being a NEET is their employment. Like, that's usually the main thing.
The man's got a point.
Yeah. That's kind of the way it works.
Yeah. What a dumb thing to say. I don't know why he even wasted his breath reading that statement out. What an idiot. Not him. The dude in the chat.
You ever had your thyroid checked? I'm super sensitive to temperature. No, I don't know if I should say more. I might reveal my power level. I used to be very sensitive to temperatures. And I stopped being sensitive to temperatures. Like today it was like 40 degrees outside.
Well. And
I just walked outside and it was fine. I felt great. And I'll be at my dad's house. I'm going to be honest. My dad, his house is very uncomfortable for me to be in. I don't like being in his house because it's like the chairs are uncomfortable. The house is hot. Just don't like being there. It's like he grew up in Florida, and he's old enough to where he grew up, and there was no AC. And so his idea of it feeling good is 82 degrees.
Greg, what's 82 degrees? 27. Uh-oh. My heart's about to, like, you know, he broke my heart with his cold and dark statement. 27 is my minimum. I need the house to be comfortable. So he's about to take that broken heart and crush it under his heel.
That's not my idea. And so anyway, and I'm not going to change it for him because he's 70 fucking 6. Like, he gets priority. And also it's his own fucking house. So that's it. 82 is way too damn hot. I agree. And so
no,
anyway,
it's not!
I go over there nowadays, and it doesn't bother me. I stopped using soap washing myself completely. And my skin has never been clearer and never been better. I used to have really bad skin flakes with my hair, and it's improved. And I don't feel cold or hot hardly ever.
I actually heard this. I heard this from a few old people. They don't use soap when washing. They just wash with like warm water, not hot, not cold. And they literally, they never smell. And they have lovely skin. They've aged really, really, really well. Like, they literally like never had a problem with it. And they actually said their skin dries out when they use soap. So they don't use it. But they're like not dirty. Like, they're like fine. They just do it old school, like before you needed to worry about all the soaps and flowers and rubbish. That's why a lot of companies sell soap-free shower gels and stuff now, because soap is actually not good for you. I still use it because I like to smell like mandarin or something when I come out, like, Satsuma. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love it. But technically it's not good for you. I used to use soap-free stuff, but it's slightly more expensive than the soap stuff. So I just kind of use whichever one smells nice and is the cheapest in Asda.
Good, very good. How long until the flakes went away? I have the same problem. About 3 weeks. About 3 weeks or so. You don't use soap for your hands
3 weeks!
either?
I said that.
Only if I get them dirty. Like, for example, because I eat with my hands and I don't want that stuff going in my body. Like, for example, if I get my hands dirty, I will get soap, you know, and get it off my hands, right? But other than that, no. Someone in chat said they smell too in regards to Techie and Emery. I don't know, but like all I'm saying is like, how don't you have back problems from all that sitting? I actually have had some back problems recently for the past like maybe month or so. And the reason why is I moved a washing machine like from my garage, and I moved some other like appliances around because I was getting rid of things in my garage. And so I actually did hurt my back, kind of. And I think the reason why is because I haven't been exercising really hardly at all. I've been fucking up, honestly. And yeah, but I'm okay, right? I'm fine. Everything's all right. But yeah, it has been an issue. No shit. Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, because back in the day, I used to be extremely physically active, and now I'm not at all. Do your muscles will do that? Yeah, exactly. So you don't use shampoo? No. There's no reason to. Do you brush your teeth? I brush my teeth every single day, without fail, every single time. Even if I fall asleep late, I will wake up and then I will brush my teeth before I go back to bed.
That makes sense that he does that with his teeth, because he has some serious dental problems. Like, he was in agony and had to come off streams and go for an emergency appointment. So he had like teeth pulled out and he had loads of problems. So I'm not surprised that he takes really good care of his teeth. I'm not sure I can get on board with the hair washing with no shampoo though. Like, I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how you cannot use shampoo.
I brush my teeth every single day. All of your habits cannot be done in the tropics. That's why you like the cold. You're right, probably. And yeah, I don't like that environment at all. Do you get an annual cleaning at the dentist?
Maybe,
I usually
James.
get an annual pulling at the dentist. Yeah, usually once a year. Yeah, I gotta get another one of them out of there. So yeah, you could say it's cleaning, but not necessarily. That's why I don't want to go to the dentist. Yeah, I do have kind of like dental anxiety. I do. Why are you revealing all this to us? The reason why is because whenever I was a lot younger, I used to always be very afraid of people, like, and I used to care a lot about what people think, and I still care what people think to an extent. But I just want to be who I am.
Oh
I want to be myself. And that's it. And it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. If people don't like it, people have a negative opinion about it, that's nice. As I said, I wake up in the morning. I wake up at about 8 in the morning. And usually I wake up at 8 at night sometimes too. And I wake up and I'm very happy. I look forward to my day every single day. I get to do things that I like doing all the time. Are there days that I don't have a good day? Yeah, sure. But for the most part, I do enjoy myself. And
it's so nice to hear him say
nothing can take that away from me.
Not too long ago, like probably about a year ago now, he was really struggling. He was like trying to go on his Asmongold channel, and then he got too much anxiety about being on there. It's why he's always on his Zach4 channel now. And he was really struggling. And he didn't want to stream for months. I don't know if he used the word depression, but he definitely used the word anxiety. His mum was was like poorly. I think his dad was poorly at some point. He was really struggling, and it was to the point the boy and I would sit there just be like, oh my god, like, you know, like your heart goes out to somebody, kind of like oh my god, like, is he gonna be okay? Like it was really bad. Like everyone worried about him. Like any Asmon fan worried about him because he was quite open about the fact that he was really struggling. So this person that you're seeing here, he didn't exist like a year ago. It was so sad and kind of scary because you wonder, like, are they going to make it through? Because obviously we don't know him, so we don't actually know how severe it is. So it was quite scary. It was like a little bit like on the edge of your seat. Every time you see him, like, is he going to be okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? And obviously as somebody who, like, boy and I, we're like huge fans of him, but it's not like in the normal celebrity fan way. Like, I find that being a fan of a streamer is much different to being a fan of, say, Taylor Swift or Britney Spears or Brad Pitt or, do you know what I mean, somebody. Like, when a celebrity passes, it's sad for nostalgic reasons, but you don't feel, I don't anyway, feel an emotional connection to them because I don't know them and they don't talk to me. Now, I know that obviously a streamer's not talking to me, but there's definitely a much more personal level. I'm not talking small streamers like us, because obviously I know you guys know me, but even like a big streamer like Asmon, he is a celebrity, but it's a lot more personal than, say, Brad Pitt. What's Brad Pitt's, like, favourite takeout place to eat? Don't know. His is Wendy's, I think. But for argument's sake, let's just say it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you kind of know them more. So it was quite like, as a proper fan of Asmon, it was kind of a bit scary. Like, are we, like, is he going to be okay? Blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, rounded back to now. It's actually really nice to hear that after that year of torment for him or whatever, he's at the point where he's so happy and so content in his life that he doesn't even need to worry what people think. He could just kind of be like, this is me. Take me as I am. If you don't, it doesn't matter, because I'm good. Do you know what I mean? How amazing is that?
Well, there is something I can take it away from myself. And that's the only thing that can.
But yeah, like, I do kind of get where he's coming from and all of it. Like, I think it's pretty amazing that he can get to the point where he doesn't care. I do think that partially comes with age. When I was much younger, I only cared what people thought about me. And if people didn't like me, it was, like, devastating to me. If people were mean to me or mean about me, it was devastating. Enough to stop me from leaving the house for days or weeks. Like, it was quite severe if somebody was mean to me. I didn't grow up in a very good childhood, so maybe that adds to it. I don't know, but yeah, it took a long time for me to get to the point where I'm like, eh. And to be fair, I feel like I only really started to do it when I hit my 30s, and then I've really only really started to think it maybe in like the last year or two. I think streaming has done a lot for that. I think maybe if I didn't stream, I wouldn't quite be like this. But it's nice to see that, like, he or somebody could get to the point where even though they know that their lifestyle choice is controversial, and not in the woke kind of way, but just in the, he wants to live in a messy house, other people don't like that. But then he doesn't care. Like, he'll do, it makes him, he's happy, so that's all that matters. I think it's quite refreshing to see that, because you don't see that very often, especially in this day and age where everyone's so desperate to impress other people, get their clicks, get their clout, get their, like, attention. They're, like, making their, like, changing their bodies with physical appearance, like with plastic surgery. Like, they're just getting louder and more, like, kind of pick me. Do you know what I mean? It's quite refreshing to hear someone who is a millionaire, who has all the money in the world. He could be as pick me as he wanted, and instead, he's just chill, and he's just fine with people not liking the way he lives. And if they choose to go, that doesn't matter. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Find it really refreshing. There's a part of me that does wonder, but yeah, I do wonder if he would still say the same thing if he lost his whole, let's say that he lost his following. I don't know. Let's say that everyone went crazy and was like, you're disgusting, I don't want to watch you anymore. And he lost everything. Would he still think the same? I do wonder. I'd like to think that he would. Because I wouldn't like to think that he'd ever get sad. Because it's Asmon. And I want him to be sad. But that was quite sweet. That was quite sweet.